Well, hello again, and welcome to our Lumio Live. So glad to have everyone back again this week. My name is Asha, and I have two lovely ladies who are also Lumio lovers, just like myself. I have Lois and Mish, and today we are talking about Immersive Reader. It's going to be a good one, you guys. Ladies, I'll have you take it away.
Thanks, Sasha. We missed
Thanks,
you.
Sasha.
It's been a
Welcome
while,
back.
yeah. Thanks.
Hey, everyone. So, my name is Mish, and I'm a professional development specialist here at Lumio. I'm super excited to be doing a Lumio Live with you. And I'm actually going to be talking about Immersive Reader, a tool that, oh man, do I wish I had when I was in the classroom. All right. So, what I've done here is I have imported a PDF of a short story about a mouse. Now, this is great. It's just a black and white worksheet here, but I want to show you all the really fun things that you can do with it when you have Immersive Reader. So, when you're in Lumio, on the left side of your screen here, you've got this little icon with the book and the little audio icon. So, when you click on that, it's actually going to take a look at your PDF and find all the different parts of it that are accessible through Immersive Reader. And this is going to be something that's so great for all accessing different learners. So maybe you've got some ELL kiddos in your classroom, some struggling readers. This is also really helpful with some special ed students as well. So I'm really excited to dive in here. So as I look here, maybe I want them to just focus in on the actual passage itself. So I'll go ahead and click on that part of the section. And it's going to pull up just this part of the PDF. So I've got the short story here. From here, I can see that I'm just looking at the passage that I need. But what about all the other fun things that I could do? So as I look through this, I'm reading it. Maybe I'm an ELL student and I'm not sure what mouse means. When I click on it, I get a little picture dictionary. So I look, I see a couple examples of what a mouse might be. I can click on the word plants, flower, garden. And that's a really great way for the kiddos to scroll through and clarify what a word might be. And they can also listen to that word if they're stuck on that word right there. We've got that little icon there. All right, so is that all we can do? No way. So now if we go up here to our text preferences, there's so many different things that you can change about the formatting of your page. So on here, you can change your text size, make it nice and large. Maybe we want it a little bit smaller. I like it right in the middle there. I have the space increased here, which is really great for students that need to make sure that they're breaking apart, looking at one word at a time. And then the font. I will say I did used to teach kindergarten. I can't tell you how many times I'd pull something up and it would have that other A like you see in this Calibri font here. But when we're working with our primary students, we want to make sure that we're using this A. So I always like to switch the font there and make sure that it looks just like what I'm teaching in my classroom. I can also change the colors. And there are more here. The opportunities are pretty endless there.
Yeah,
So
the
those are
ability
my
to change the color in that is so great. I know, especially if we have visually impaired students for accessibility, having that bright yellow background is super helpful too. So there's lots of tools available.
Absolutely. We're just helping access so many different kinds of learners here. So now when we go to our grammar options, we can break words apart into syllables. So when I click that, you can see that I get that little dot that breaks apart the word there. But for my third through fifth teachers, even some second grade teachers here, parts of speech. So you can actually change the color of the words based on if they're a noun, a verb, an adjective. And maybe this is an activity that you're already doing in your classroom. You can actually change up the colors here, maybe to align with something that you already have going on an anchor chart, for example. That is a pretty neat part here. We can focus just on adjectives, and that would be really fun. Since you're doing this up on your board, you can go ahead and circle on the screen as well. All right, and now we've got our reading preferences. I always had my kiddos, and it was so hard to get them to focus in on just the part that they were reading. They were jumping apart if they saw maybe a different part of speech that we were learning. So we can actually highlight one line at a time, helping them to really focus in on exactly where they are in the text. And then remember in the beginning, I also showed you that picture dictionary. That's something that you can toggle off. You don't have to have it on the screen if you don't need it. And now for my ELL students, you can actually change the language on here. So I'm going to scroll down to Spanish. And what's really neat about Spanish specifically is it actually has 3 different versions. So you can choose from Latin America, Mexico, and Spain. And when I click on that here, you can do it change by word, or you can also change the entire document. So this is really, really helpful for those ELL students. Maybe we want them to read it in Spanish first, and then they can switch it over to English after that.
Oh my gosh. If I would have had that when my children were in elementary in the dual language program here in Texas, that would have been like that would have saved hours of homework time trying to figure out what something said in Spanish and having to call 4 different parents. Like, do you know what this means? So that's a really great tool that not only saves teachers time, but students and families too.
Absolutely. I can't tell you how many days I would be standing outside greeting my students in the morning, and the parents would come up with their kiddos, and the kiddo would translate for their parent and say, "My mom said we're just not going to do this homework because she has no idea what it says." And that would have been so nice to have that tool.
Absolutely.
All right, so now from this screen, I went ahead and I put all of the different things that I like. So I'm highlighting just one line at a time. I've translated it to Spanish. And now on here, what I can also do is my voice settings. So I can change the speed in which it's reading to me. And I can also switch from female to male as well. And if I click on here, you see
El ratón de
that as
jardín
it
vive en una
reads,
enramada. Es amigo de las ranas.
you see that was super fast. I can slow it down there, and it highlights the word that it is on, again, helping to really focus in on exactly where we are in the text. All right, and from here you can see at the top of the screen, I can toggle off between the original, which was in English, and then right back to Spanish. So again, really helpful for those ELL students there. Now, we've done this reading passage, and now my favorite part is we can go ahead and make it into an activity. So if you join my screen here, I can go ahead and pull that up here. And I always like to tell my kiddos there's so many different ways for you to interact with this screen. I always remind them that you can go ahead and type your responses, you can write your responses, or you can bring in images. And that brings me in right to my next page here with the images is I actually converted this into an individual handout here. And I added the graphic organizer right onto the passage so they can quickly see the passage. They reference it right away. They have all of it on one screen. And maybe I have some kiddos that need some extra help. And I actually went ahead and added these pictures in so they can drag and drop them right into the Venn diagram, helping, again, those students that might need that extra support, kind of like a word bank, if you will. Do we have any questions? All right.
I
And
really
then again,
love
with
this.
sorry, go ahead.
I really love this, and I love your pictures. I know a lot of times teachers have images that they already love using, but even for new teachers, being able to search through a Being Safe search to make sure they're not going to have inappropriate content that they can just pull in quickly is also super valuable too.
Yeah, exactly. What Lois is talking about here is if I click on this icon right here, I can click on the image, and Bing Safe Search is embedded right into this page. And again, we know that those are going to be appropriate, that those are vetted in advance. And then again, right from the screen, the reason I wanted to bring in this Venn diagram is they can reference the passage right here. If they need anything to be reread to them, they can also do that right from here. So maybe in the beginning, I wanted them to just focus on just the passage. So I do have the passage as its own page, a couple of slides up. But here I put it in so that they can reference it and have it reread to them if needed as they're going through. Also, you can see here that parts of the Venn diagram, the instructions are read out loud here and down here with the images as well.
I love that I have my student view on my iPad, so I can just drag the images or write the answers. So it's really simple and easy to use as well, right?
Exactly. It looks like I've got a couple participants in here. So what I'm going to do is pop out of my teacher handout and take a look. And Lois, if I can go ahead and open yours, I can go ahead and see that she's choosing to do both kind of methods here. She's writing and she's using the images that I created in there for her. And I can also, what I can do for her is I can write good work. And that response that I'm doing is just showing up on her screen. So live time, she's able to see that I went ahead, I looked at her work, I gave her some feedback, and no one else is seeing that. That's just exclusive to her on her screen. maybe this was the wrong answer. I can quickly tell her, oh, please fix this.
Nice.
And then I can see that Lois is done, so she gets the green check mark. I'm going to go through and open this one up. And same here. So this student chose just to use the images. Again, these all look great. They are both mice. And then we sorted those pictures. And again, I can go right here to my text and I can write, good work. And again, that is just showing up on this student's screen right there for them. Nice and easy to swap through everyone's screens here. Asha went ahead and did hers. Asha also just chose to use the pictures. And again, that's why I like to remind them that they can really access it in their own way. Maybe they want to type, maybe they want to write, maybe they like to use the pictures. Kind of increasing that student choice there.
Absolutely. Lots of different ways to interact, and especially I find with like early childhood when students are starting to see like words that they recognize and they know the meanings of them, having that opportunity to be able to include that is so great as well.
Absolutely. I also do love when they use the image, bring in their own images, because it's fun to see all the different kinds of mice that they'll pull up or the different kinds of tree images. It's fun to kind of go through all the handouts and see how they answered all the same way, but all of their work looks totally different.
Absolutely.
No, this is fantastic. And I love how the immersive reader, it really helps to encourage students when it comes to literacy, right? And give them the confidence too, right? There's so many tools that's built right in that makes it easy for teachers, students, and like you said, Lois, earlier, for families too when it comes to homework. Awesome.
My other favorite part here is if you go back here to Immersive Reader, look at how many different languages we have. I'm pretty sure we've got a little bit of everyone in here. There's so
And I
many
think
different
that is so
options.
helpful. Yeah, and it's so helpful. No, I love this session. Thank you so much, Mish, for sharing this lesson with us. Don't forget, everyone, that we do have, of course, a Lumio challenge. There's a couple more days left in that challenge. So on the socials, if you go to hashtag Lumio challenge, and of course, we do have recordings from our previous Lumio live streams as well. If you go to go.smarttech.com/live stream, you'll see all of the videos posted there. So again, thanks, ladies. This was a great one. And everyone, have a great day. Thank you so much for joining.